This is the first video for how to draw a motorcycle by Motorholic Works. I'll be starting with very basic things first. So first of all, the equipments, what to use. I'm using a very basic sketchbook here. It's a normal paper. You can use any paper, good or bad, brand does not matter. And of course you'll need a pencil. So again, you can use any brand. I'm using a Staedtler 2B here. Brand doesn't matter, but try to use a soft pencil. So you can use a HB, 2B or 4B. I think 2B is good for a job. Then of course you'll need an eraser. My eraser is really old. Of course a sharpener, and maybe you'll need a compass to draw the wheels. If you cannot draw the circles freehand, then you can use a compass and a ruler. So that's all you'll need, and all of these things you can get easily at your nearby stationery shop. So let's get started. Today we'll be drawing the Royal Enfield Continental GT. I chose this bike because it's comparatively easier to draw because of its simple and geometric shapes, and I want you to have a nice output when you finish all these exercises I'm telling you about. For drawing a motorcycle, it's very important to understand the proportions of the motorcycle. So to make it easy for you, I have prepared this study sheet for you. This is the baseline. Then I have made a circle of the size of the rear wheel and copied it like a grid. So notice that the front wheel is a little further than one wheel size. So this becomes your wheelbase. Then try to notice all the components where they fall on this grid. This is very important. For example, the ground clearance is roughly 1/4 the size of the circle. Then notice like the seat ends at half of the rear wheel. So try to notice all the components, what the tank height is, where the engine is, the fork angle is very important, the handlebar placement is very important. So try to notice all the components. This sheet is available for download for free on my website motorholicworks.com. Keep the sheet in front of you for reference and start with drawing the baseline. Then draw the circles for the wheels. You can use a compass to draw the circles, but keep the pencil pressure very light. Notice the components on the reference sheet and then draw the outline very lightly on paper. And don't worry about getting the shapes too perfect, but focus on the overall size and the position of the component you're drawing. This is only for the base drawing. So we will be adding the details later. And for this video, the speed is doubled, but please take your time and don't rush while drawing. Just be patient. And I will say again that getting the proportions correct is most important for motorcycle sketching. So this step is very important. By now we already know the shape of our parts and where they're coming exactly. So we can start by darkening the outer lines. Be careful of the curves the lines are taking, the parts are taking, and keep referring to the study sheet to make it easier for you. You can also fill in the inner details now, but again keep the pencil light because it's not fixed yet. If you darken it, it would be difficult to erase it later. You can also start to add the details now. So add the details slowly and bit by bit. Now we can take the parts one by one and start finalizing them. To draw the suspension, notice how the spring coils around. Many people draw it just by straight lines, but it's actually curved. So these small details make a big impact on the overall sketching. And also keep your pencils sharpened when you're drawing the details. Otherwise it will look very blurry because the lines will come out thick. I will also share a close-up photograph of the suspension sketch I did for your reference, so you can refer to it, that how I added the details. The spring is going to the back, so how it's hidden halfway through. So notice everything. Now comes the wheels. You can use the compass to draw the wheels perfectly, but I prefer drawing them freehand. I get many queries regarding how to draw the wheel. So I can only say that practice a lot, because with practice you can get nice perfect circles. Guide your hand towards drawing the curve. So you have to train your hand to drawing into the curves. Keep referring to the sheet. It's free for download on my website, as you know, so that you can add in the details, like you draw the tire and then you draw the rim, so that later you add the spokes into it. For the spokes, start drawing them one by one and completely draw them from wheel to the sprocket. Also add some thickness of the material by drawing two lines rather than just one thin line for the spokes. Similarly, start adding spokes to the front wheel also, and you can draw this in lighter line and then later darken the lines to be sure of the angles and where the spokes are. Finally, finish all the details which are remaining, the small material thicknesses and other things. So you can finish them one by keeping referring to the main study sheet, which is also a reference to draw. And yes, the sketch is now completed. So finally darken the baseline and don't forget to put your signature on it because you made it. Next Saturday, I will come up with more videos on how to ink or color your sketches, so stay tuned. Till then, practice your drawing, share them with everyone, and follow Motoholic Works on Instagram. Cheers!